more importantly, I'm asking, if I talk to you, I'm probably going to ask a lot of questions. I want to know what you think about something. I want to know what you think about this, what you think about that. Because once I can really understand how you see the world, I have the ability to live through your eyes. And that gives me now 2 lifetimes. Because one thing I understand implicitly, and some of you I think understand this as well, the hardest thing is to only live once. Because no matter how long your life is, it's still awfully short. You know, it can be like a week. You know, a week feels like a long time, but in actuality it's very short. It can feel very long sometimes, depending on what you're looking forward to or dreading at the end of the week. But being able to live through somebody else's eyes, you know, it gives you the opportunity to live more than one lifetime. What's that?
Hey, you looked at him. No, it's not like that. Not like that. I don't know why you looked at me.
I don't know. I mean, I think we all know why.
Okay, we accept you. It's okay.
Yeah, we accept you. You're in a safe. You guys are in a safe place right now.
No, you made it weird. He looked at me.
I should turn this camera around so everyone can see who you are.
And then you got to say cut it.
That's the first thing I noticed, actually, when he said that. I'm like, how cute. Yeah.
I got a problem. What I think this problem is that, like, good communication. Like with black coffee, I don't really know that many people that drink black coffee every day because it's not something that's like tastes good. But when they have it, it's like that good communication is not always good. Like black coffee is like bitter, right? And sometimes good communication doesn't mean like communication you like having, but it's communication that you might have to have sometimes. And that it's just like afterwards you feel like it gave you like a sense of meaningfulness, and that's why it's hard to sleep because it just means like something to you. But yeah, that's all I got.
That's very smart. That's very smart. Yeah, because she mentions black coffee for a reason. She doesn't just say coffee. She mentions black coffee. Black coffee has no sweetener in it. It has no cream in it, so it's bitter. Sometimes good conversation can be bitter. She's not just saying fun communication is this way or happy communication is this way. She points out that just good communication is this. Very good. Very good. You must have a very good teacher. Yeah, so good communication, as we point out. It's not just general communication, but good communication does this thing. It's as stimulating as black coffee. It wakes up the mind. It doesn't just wake up the body, it wakes up the mind also. It does wake up the body, but primarily she's talking about how it wakes up the mind. And I wonder if you've ever had those conversations with people that have gone on for hours, like late at night, and then when the person says they have to go to sleep, you're all sad about it. Like, okay, fine, sleep good, sleep well. Okay. I wonder. I see a couple of you smiling and like kind of nodding a little bit, like you have somebody in mind or you have a conversation in mind. You know, is there anybody in your life who you like to just talk to, you know, or someone in your life who you'd like to listen to, and you don't always know what they're saying, but you figure maybe one day you will. Something interesting about it. I have one of my teachers is that way. His name is Justice Richards. I met him when I was 17, and I still talk to him today. And there's something about when the guy talks, and I've known him for a long time now, obviously. There's just something about the way he talks that I want to hear more. I want to know more. And there are times that I think that's when I started feeling really good about myself, that there were times when I first would talk to him, I didn't understand a lot of what he was saying. But I took a lot of notes, and I was just like, someday I'm going to understand. And then when I talk to him now, I understand every single word. And I understand every single word that he's not speaking there as well. You know, that's a neat thing. That's when I felt like I've arrived. I have a mind now. I have a brain now. Anyway, talking with that guy, it feels like I'm digesting 100 books every time I talk to him. And why? Well, because he's read hundreds of books. And so what he's giving me is kind of like, I guess, the synthesis of a man who has read a lot and studied a lot and thought a lot. And not that he's saved me the trouble of having to do it for myself, but he's opened up the door, the possibility for me to look at it and say, I could do that too. In other words, if he could do it, so can I. One of the most encouraging things that you can see is a person succeed. Because if one person can succeed, then that means the rest of us can as well. You know, and even if we might think, like, but that person has other talents, maybe they're better at this, better at that. Yeah, but you're better at something else. And so you can succeed in what they succeeded in, just maybe in a different way. So it's a great thing to see people succeed, because it opens up our mind to possibilities that we never knew were there. And this is why talking to people is so wonderful. Because if I If I talk to you, I discover some things about you. And more importantly, I'm asking, if I talk to you, I'm probably going to ask a lot of questions. I want to know what you think about something. I want to know what you think about this, what you think about that. Because once I can really understand how you see the world, I have the ability to live through your eyes. And that gives me now 2 lifetimes. Because one thing I understand implicitly, and some of you I think understand this as well, is that life, the hardest thing is to only live once. Because no matter how long your life is, it's still awfully short. You know, it can be like a week. You know, a week feels like a long time, but in actuality it's very short. It can feel very long sometimes, depending on what you're looking forward to or dreading at the end of the week. But being able to live through somebody else's eyes, you know, it gives you the opportunity to live more than one lifetime. And the more friends that you have that you can who can not just enjoy their company, because that's kind of like using them for something that you enjoy, which, you know, it's fine, we all do it. But it's also using them as a learning tool, that now you get to see the world through other people's eyes. That's why it's so dangerous to us when we, and I mean dangerous in the existential sense, when we shut off people who have different opinions from what we have. We don't want to hear it. Or there was this trend, man, like a year ago or so, or 2 years ago, people posting things on Instagram like, if you don't believe fill in the blank, or if you don't know about blank, whatever, then just unfriend me now. And I go, so you can surround yourself only with people who can confirm the way that you see the world. And it isn't just that we should have our ideas challenged. We should have our ideas challenged, of course. That's what makes them stronger. Resistance makes things stronger. But it's more of that, you lose the ability to see the world through somebody else's eyes. You're only having your own view reinforced. And there's something wonderful when you see somebody who has a completely different life experience from you and sees things so entirely different, to be able to sit there and say, how do you see this again? And then they can tell you, and you can completely disagree, but understand that you're disagreeing just because it's not your own perspective. And then be able to say, that's interesting how another person can see the world that way. And then that makes you way more understanding of other people, because now you start to wonder, how many people see the world the way that this person does? Probably lots. And now that makes it possible for you to engage other people, to get, to opens up doorways to talk to other people, because you understand their perspectives. And that's just 2 people. Imagine if you have a friend group or, a communication group of like 10, 20, 30. That's a lot of perspectives, man. And that's a lot of ways to enjoy the world. If you only talk to people who listen to your one style of music, then you're going to miss out on a whole world of great music out there. If you only talk to people who like the movies that you like, you're going to miss out on a lot of really great movies. And by the way, to be fair, if you talk to people who have different musical tastes and different cinema tastes, cinema, who the hell says cinema? I guess me today. If you have people who have, if you interact with people who have different movie tastes and different musical tastes, then you also are going to consume a lot of garbage. At least as far as you're concerned, it's going to be trash. I have students who send me musical recommendations from time to time, and it takes me a long time, because I don't just like throw it on and then go like do laundry or something like that. If you send me a musical recommendation, I'm going to sit there, I'm going to listen to it. And I'm going to play it again, listening to it. 3rd time through, I'll probably pull up the lyrics and listen to it while I read the lyrics. And I'll listen to it 3, 4, usually 5 times. Then I'll finally respond and tell you what I think about it. Because if it means something to you, if it's that important to you, then it should be important to me. Because sharing your musical taste, that's scary, isn't it? What if this person doesn't like it? And obviously it's something that you love a lot, and so therefore you have to, you want other people to hear about it. And so I want to take it seriously. So you're also going to encounter some stuff that you're not going to like, but you're also going to encounter lots of stuff that you do like. It opens up. I used to say when I was in school that I wanted to have friends of every race and every ethnicity. That way I could try all the different foods. And there's something good about having friends who are Chinese and Italian. A friend of mine used to tell me. Because then when you go to their houses to eat, it's like going to a restaurant. It took me a while and I finally understood that. So this is good communication. This is stimulating as black coffee. It could be good in the sense that you enjoy it. It could be good in the sense that it's the talk that you needed. It could be good just in the sense that, I don't know, I don't understand it yet, but someday I will understand Dr. Richards. And it's just as difficult to sleep after, because it should stay with you. It's like, I was thinking about it when Abraham was talking. I was thinking about it in terms of being punched in the face. Someone punches you in the face properly, when you're going to sleep at night, you're going to feel it still. That's how a good conversation should be. When you go to sleep at night, it should still stay with you. It should still have some, hopefully not bruising your face, but it should have something where when you're going to sleep at night, you still can't get the thought of that out of your head. And maybe you're falling asleep to thinking about it. Or maybe sometimes it's so good that you don't even fall asleep afterwards. You stay up for hours or even all the way through the night doing that. You know. I had a talk with somebody a few months ago that did that to me. No joke, I think I fell asleep for half of an hour. And then I just couldn't sleep. And it wasn't even necessarily, by the way, just what the person says. Hopefully it's also the ideas that spawn from what that person said. That get you thinking about other things and and coming up with your own ideas perhaps. So it's good. You should have people who can communicate, people who can stimulate you that way. You can't have too much of that in life. I don't know, what else are you doing? You're gonna fill your time with something. I don't know. Questions, comments, concerns, complaints, criticisms, critiques?